Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. World Cup well and truly underway, and it's a special occasion because this is the Three Hammers podcast this week. Here as always with Luke, as you can see, and we have got Lee on the line. No video, but Lee is here with us. How we doing, lads?
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you back, mate. Mr. Controversial, you're always missed. The guy who has the opinions of some of the West Ham fans, and it's nice to have other West Ham fans' ideas as always. As you say, World Cup's well underway. Episode 88. How you find the World Cup, boys? Let's start with the World Cup. Really enjoying it. There has been some, lackluster games, couple of 1-0s, but there has been some fantastic shocks and some real, fantastic matches and goals as well.
It's been mad. I mean, it's one of them World Cups where it just feels like anyone could win this. It feels like anyone could win it. I've really enjoyed it so far. It's been really good.
Lee?
Yeah. There's been a couple of rubbish games. Like the one this afternoon was pretty poor Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and a couple like that. But actually, the team that's impressed me most is Mexico so far. I thought it was outstanding against Germany. Really good attacking side. Be interesting to watch them. As Chicharito played well as well, which was good to see.
Did.
Yeah, they've been the ones for me.
Good to see Senegal as well. Listen, wasn't great, but I do like seeing some of them African teams do well. Because Nigeria was shocking in their first game.
It's funny. Sorry, Lee, go on.
I was surprised that Kiati on the bench.
Yeah, captain as well.
Yeah, really surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you say, the Mexico game was fantastic.
Spain-Portugal, what a game that was.
Oh, what a game that was, yeah.
I missed it. It was gutting.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
What a performance from the big man, a man of the moment, I know there's always that continuous argument, Messi, Ronaldo, blah, blah, blah. I'm always Ronaldo. I know Paul's a Messi man. But unbelievable to do it under that pressure. To do it against a goalkeeper of that quality, and he knows that's his moment. I don't know if you even he looks down the camera before he's about to take the free kick, as if I'm ready, lads. Just get the camera angle sorted for me.
Dyer had a shocker in that game, though.
Yeah, really bad. Yeah,
but
it gets on tonight actually.
What I find interesting is. And it's amazing, really. I mean, Ronaldo's carrying that team. He's carrying that team.
Oh, yeah. Proven today as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's crazy to think that he scored a hat-trick. He's scored 4 goals now. And there's a chance, if Spain win tonight, that Portugal won't even go through to the next round. It's mad to think. But yeah, I think that's going to be the problem for Portugal if they get to the later stages. Once they come up against... Probably if they come up against Spain again, or if they come against France or someone like that, and Ronaldo doesn't have an on day, they're out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I do agree. Yeah, because I think Spain were a bit harshly criticised actually. But it was a mistake, a penalty, and a world class free kick. Apart from that, Spain were making them look like schoolboys at one point. Just ping, 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 ping. I'm sure they'll do it against Iran tonight as well. Just think there was another shock result, wasn't there? Was it?
Germany got beat.
Oh, the Brazil game, was it Switzerland?
Brazil drew.
Switzerland played really well in that game.
Yeah, they did, mate. They played fantastic.
Germany.
Let's talk about. I found Neymar is so frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously brilliantly talented, but my God, he's greedy.
Very. I think it's because there's so much pressure. Can you imagine being the Brazil main man? You've had Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Fat Ronaldo, and you've got to live up to that standard. You're expected to be on that level.
Even
there's got a bit of pressure
on that stage, like
LA.
Messi missing a penalty. Although I was gonna when he stepped up to take that penalty, I said he was gonna miss.
I thought he was gonna miss.
He's not got a good record with penalties.
Yeah. He hasn't. No.
I don't know why Aguero didn't take it. But it's mad. It's crazy. Russia are doing really well.
Yeah, Russia looked good. I thought, even though France did win in the end, I thought Australia were quite good actually. I was really impressed with Moy, the Huddersfield, isn't he? Or Brighton?
Yeah,
Brighton.
Huddersfield. Yeah.
Is he Huddersfield?
Yeah, he was really good. Really, really good player. Yeah. Did really good for them.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, I don't think there's, apart from maybe one or two, I don't think there's a really poor team at the World Cup this year.
No, apart from maybe Saudis.
That's what I mean.
Saudi
Like,
Arabia and
Nigeria, I think, have been very poor.
Iran.
Like I say, there's what Iran are doing all right. They're what?
Yeah, they won
their first game.
They beat Morocco.
But still, you know.
I'll tell you what I have said in work, actually. I'm really impressed with, like you say, mate, there's no whipping boys anymore. There's real organisation. Teams are really, like, your Icelands as well. Like, they're proving, you know, there weren't no fluke against England a few years ago. They are incredibly well organised and well-drilled side.
Yeah, I think the quality in general, if you look, the majority of teams at the World Cup now have got players who you would know in the squads. They've got players playing in Europe. I think the standard in general throughout all of the teams is much higher this year. Like you say, it's like the organisation and things like that. They don't, like you say, there don't seem to be any sort of pub teams out there this year.
Some of them lack that, you know, that ability to actually go forward and break teams down. But in terms of defending wise, not too bad. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been interesting to watch because the quality is much. It's weird as well because it's much bigger tournament now, isn't it? I mean, was it at 34?
32.
34 teams.
32. It's going to go up to 48, I believe.
I mean, there's going to be a time soon when the whole bloody world's going to be represented. It's a bit ridiculous, really, but it'll go on for 6 months. But you know, no, I've been really impressed with it all.
I'd be wrong to not mention our home nation. You know, the nation we were born in, England. I've got to say, listen, people will know I'm not the biggest of England fans. I'm definitely more club over country, if that can be put that way. But I've got to say, in spells, first 20 minutes, I thought they were lovely. Passing, pinging it around. I thought Loftus-Cheek was fantastic when he came on.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek, I was going to say that, yeah.
Definitely a player West Ham should look at. If it probably can't get him now, they're probably going to have a worldie of a World Cup in. And I was really impressed with Maguire, actually, and Jesse Lingard. I thought they were really, really good games. Do you know what I would say about the England squad? And I used to be in a similar place to you, where I know you two are now. And I'm not the biggest fan, and obviously West Ham any day of the week over England. But at least now players are being picked on their form rather than their reputation. That what used to be my biggest issue with it. Now you've got the likes of Maguire and the lad in goal, like Pope, is in the squad. Yeah.
10 years ago, that would never have happened, and I think that from that side of it, it's really improved. And for that reason, I'm less sort of angry about it. I don't think we've got the quality to win it at all. But it's one of those World Cups where I think anyone could, if they put a run together, any of them could end up winning it.
For me, that's my biggest frustration with England. Is, to be fair, it's not really anything to do with the England football team. It's the hype around it that drives me insane. Like, we scraped a win against Tunisia. Harry Kane scored 2 tap-ins, and the commentator starts screaming, "Watch out, Ronaldo! Here comes Kane!" Come on, do you know what I mean? Like, behave.
But isn't that the world we live in now? The commentator's job is to hype up the nation.
Yeah, but the problem is he hyped up and it's the commentators and it's the press in general hype it up, and then when we do go out in, say, the quarterfinals, which would be good for England, they destroy the team. They crap all over them, and then they start they start targeting the players, and like. That's what I don't like about it, and that's what I haven't liked for a long time. It's all the hype, the build-up, best team in the world, and then when they don't win the World Cup, they're absolute scumbags in the eyes of the nation and the press. Do you know what I mean? That's my biggest issue with the England football team. It really is.
But I think it's slightly less this time.
Well,
I haven't seen anyone saying it's the best team in the world.
Well, no, I think the hypes have been a bit better, actually. Just one surprise. I just noticed that the man who scored probably the best goal of the World Cup so far, Nacho, has been dropped by Spain, which is very interesting.
So, who's playing?
David Silva's playing, isn't he? I mean,
he won't be playing at right back, will he?
No, right back, yeah. But no, it's very interesting. Just notice that. Be very rude to not mention it, guys. Just very, very quickly. Last thing on the World Cup, VAR, guys. I like it. I've got to say, I like it. I know people are going to sit there going, oh, it's controversial. Harry Kane should have had 2 penalties. Yeah, okay, Harry Kane should have had 2 penalties, yes. But I really like the way it's done. And I think when it does come into the Prem, yes, we're going to have days when we sit there and go, oh, for God's sake, how's that a penalty against West Ham or whatever? But I really like it. I've got to say, I really like it. And I can definitely see its benefits. It's still a little bit in its trial stages, but I really like it.
The way they're using it in this tournament is good because the ref points to his ear and then they split the screen and you can kind of see a bit more of it happening. It's less of a mystery. I've quite liked it in this tournament. It's not always worked, but no, I think it's good.
One of the things that I really like that they've brought in is what they've said about offsides, is that if it's a marginal call for the linesman to keep their flag down, and if it needs looking at, then they'll bring it back. I quite like that. I think that allows the game to flow better. I think that's a really good one. But and I agree. I think it's been used quite well. But there are some decisions, and I can't stand Harry Kane. I hate him. But how he didn't get at least 1 pen in that game is mind-boggling. That one where he was basically rugby tackled in the box. Yeah. I don't understand how a panel of professionals looked at that incident and said there was nothing there. I can't understand that.
Yeah, I think that's the big issue is consistency. Yeah. You know, if that's a penalty, that's a penalty.
I don't know how that just can't be a penalty. That was one of the most blatant penalties I've ever seen.
If it ends up that you give away, I don't know, 4 penalties in a game,
so be it.
That is how it's got to be until, obviously, players will learn then, we're not going to pull in the box. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, no, I agree. It was shocking decisions, really. And in that, it's not even a matter of opinion. It was blatant.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of get it if it was one, I don't know, a slap around the face accidentally or on purpose, something like that, which is open to interpretation. But that was more WWE Kane than Harry Kane.
He basically speared him. But yeah. I actually think that's quite good as well. We see that today with the Portugal game, which is quite good for VAR as well. So it was, who was it? I can't remember what defender it was, but they basically patted Pepe on the back.
Oh, yeah.
And he went flying down screaming. And it's quite good that I'm sure whoever was in the VAR centre, whatever, looked at that and straight away he would have said to the ref, no, there's nothing in that. So things like that's quite good. That was shameful. That was.
He's got that in him though.
Got history, yeah.
Yeah. That's it for the World Cup. Actually, we haven't had Leon to have a little prediction. Now we've seen the first round of games. Has your opinion changed? Mine hasn't, has it really? I know it could change in the next 90 minutes, but I still do fancy Spain to win it.
Before the tournament, I said France. But you know what? As a dark horse, I'm going to go Mexico.
That'd be a great shout. It'd be a great bet. Put it on, lads. And Paul, have your opinion changed at all?
I mean, I said Germany, and I still think they'll probably win their next 2 games and go on. But as I said earlier, I genuinely feel like anyone could win this. I really do. I feel like any team could win it. So I don't know. I definitely won't be putting any more money down. I'll tell you that. The first few days, every bet got chinned by a game I thought was going to be a banker. Argentina, Germany, Brazil, and I just said, nah, that's it. No more bets on this World Cup.
Let us know, guys, after the first round of fixtures, who do you see as your winners and top goal scorers? I quite fancy Lukaku now, actually. Obviously, Ronaldo's in there, obviously, 4 goals. But, you know, if Lukaku could get an hat-trick against Panama tomorrow, and he'd be right in there. I keep saying could get an hat-trick, but games like that, the Panama games, you've got to be looking to put your tally up.
Didn't you have a bet on Kane?
Yeah, I've got Kane. Kane's on 2 as well. We've got, obviously, England have to play Panama as well at some point, so you never know. I've got Kane
on Sunday, England, Panama.
Yeah. Right, moving on, guys. We've signed 2 bloody players. You know, we have 2 weeks. We have a week off, and we've signed 2 players. It seems like the longest, you know, from the Fredericks transfer to Diop and Fabianski signing within the last couple of days. It seemed like a long slug, didn't it? Like, you know, it feels like the momentum was dying a bit, and you know, signed, boom, and it's picked the momentum up again. You know, that positive feeling around the club. Actually, let's just get Lee's opinion on Fredericks, because he obviously wasn't here. Lee, what are you making of Fredericks one very quickly?
Yeah, very good. He's got a good guy to learn from as well, Zabaleta. He's still young. He's the sort of player we should be signing. Yeah, really, really happy. Beat off a lot of competition by all accounts. He had a good season in the Championship. Yeah, good. That being said, you need more than pace to survive in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah. Diop, though, guys. What is he? 6'4". He looks like an absolute unit of a man. French as well, you know. I do like the French players.
Sounds like a potential future French captain as well, mate.
Yeah.
When do we ever spend 20 million on a defender as well? I know 20 million is sort of, you know, average asking price for a player now, but
22 million, mate. That's our record transfer now.
Young as well.
What I would say though is, where does this leave our other defenders? Because you think they're going to play 4 at the back next year.
I think Rice is going in midfield.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we haven't really been linked with any defensive midfilders whatsoever.
Especially if Mawson comes in.
Well, that's it. It sounds like we are definitely trying to get one more. So then, like you say, you would have Diop, Ogbonna, Reed, Rice potentially, and then maybe Mawson.
I think Reed's gone. X said it actually on his podcast last night. Apparently, if a right offer comes in for Reed, we will sell. So,
but yeah,
I can't stop too upset. I do love Winston. You know, he's a really good servant, but he's too injury prone now, and you know we have got to start thinking about getting some 22-year-olds, 23-year-old defenders in.
So if we end up with Mawson, Diop, Rice, and Ogbonna as our 4 centre halves, and that's fantastic.
Oh, mate, it's amazing, amazing, fantastic.
And I mean, you would look at the whole defensive unit then. What an upgrade. So those 4 on the left, obviously, we've still got Masuaku and Cresswell. On the right, I'm assuming Byron will probably leave.
Yeah,
but
Byron's
then we've got Zabaleta and Fredericks. And then, obviously, Fabianski and, at the moment, Adrian. I mean, straight away, that just looks like such a more solid defence. You know, a much better defensive unit.
I must say, I'm thrilled with the Fabianski signing. I think that's a really good sign for 7 million.
Yeah, it's
one of the best. He's been one of the most consistent keepers in the Premier League for a few. I know Swansea haven't done well.
Could have got Gigi though. Gigi's gone to PSG.
Yeah, we definitely could have got him, mate. Yeah.
Rui Patricio, I know, has gone to
some signing for Wolves. That is great signing for Wolves.
Yeah. But it looks like William Carvalho is not going to come to us either. I think I was reading Inter Milan this morning. It's a shame. Yeah, like I say, I can see Rice playing in midfield, and I would like to see that. No, would you not like to see him? That seems to be what his position is.
He's been playing there internationally.
Lovely ball player.
Playing there for Ireland. Couple of man of the match performances there for Ireland as well. So, you know, it definitely looks like. And like I say, the fact that we haven't been linked with a single defensive midfielder makes me think. Definitely.
Apparently, Pellegrini does still fancy Sheck as well. So, you know, he's another one there. I can't really tell what the team's going to be, really, you know.
Well, to me, and I've been saying this loads, from just going by his past, he plays a 4-2-2-2. So, obviously, you've got a back 4, 2 sort of deeper holding midfielders. So, assuming, say, one of those is Rice, the other one could be Obiang, Kouyaté, whoever. 2 attacking midfielders. So there, you would say hopefully Anderson, and then I don't know who else would we be playing as a sort of attacking midfielder.
Arnautovic?
Well, if he stays, it sounds like he's probably going to go. What gets me is, say for example, Arnautovic goes. Who do we play up front? If he wants to play 2 up front, you've got Chicharito. Sounds like he is after still another midfielder. We were linked with Stefan Stuaro from Juventus. Apparently, we put a bid in for him today. He's kind of more of a box-to-box midfielder. And apparently, we're still after a striker who could potentially be...
I don't think Pastore will happen either. I don't think Pastore will happen.
No, it doesn't look like it now. No, he's going to Roma.
So, on the...
sorry, while we're there, Jack Wilshere as well could well be coming in. So
start with... sorry, Lee. Surely Jack Wilshere. No, I know we discuss it all the time. Everyone knows I would love Jack at the club, but Lee?
If the money's right, the wages, I think definitely if he accepts a lower wage, he's not worth £100,000 a week in my opinion with his injury record.
Not anymore.
But if he accepts, I mean, a fully fit Jack Wilshere is worth £100,000 a week. He's an outstanding player, but he just doesn't play a season. And we've had enough passengers over the last few years.
I'd love to see him and Rice as well. I'd love to see him and Rice sitting there, and then maybe, like you say, your Felipe Andersons, and then possibly another week. Because I can see Mikel Antonio leaving as well.
Apparently, Palace are still quite sniffing around.
And Burnley, apparently. Burnley, I've read. So I wouldn't be upset if he left, though. I really wouldn't. I know we sort of discuss this every week, but would you be upset, Lee?
I read that apparently he's a bit disruptive in the changing room.
Yeah, I think, we've been saying that for a while. Billy Big Balls sort of syndrome. On his day, how many players have we got where we say that? On his day, he's a great player, but he hasn't really done anything since Paya left. So
what about I think of another couple of two players that possibly could leave, Pedro Obiang, and what do we think about the future of people like Emilson Fernandez and players like that?
Definitely.
I'm a Fernandez fan still.
I like Fernandez.
I have been since we signed him. Should we talk about the big man?
Well, if someone wants to come in for him, let him go. But I don't.
He's got a year left on his contract. I can't see it. We're not going to get money for him. So I'd be inclined to say keep him as a plan B.
I think it depends, doesn't it? I mean, it depends on.
He does like a big man because he used to play Negredo, didn't he? Like Negredo when he first came over.
And Dzeko, I'm sure he still had Dzeko, did he not?
Yeah. I think depending on
not the same. I'm not comparing the two, just for the record.
Depending on the sort of wages. I mean, it sounds like we're doing some serious business, probably more business, spending more money than we ever have as a club. And then it makes you think, well, who's going to need to leave to balance the books? And if Carroll was one of those players, then see you later, basically.
I reckon Reeds, could he sign that new contract, didn't he, about 3-4 years ago? So I reckon he's on quite hefty money. So if he's one to leave.
He's still got, I'm pretty sure he's still got 5 years remaining. No,
really?
Is it 3 years remaining? Did he sign a 6-year contract, Reed?
I think so.
And I think he's got like 3 years remaining on it.
Yeah. Because Obiang only signed in the middle of last year, didn't he? He signed a new 5-year deal.
I think Obiang will definitely stay. I don't think we'll be seeing Obiang leave.
I did see some rumours about Florentina, though.
They always seem to be buzzing around, though, Italian clubs.
Yeah. I don't want him to go. He's one I don't mind, actually. He's a nice, he can play some football. What about going in again for João Mario, obviously with the Lanzini injury? Yeah,
I've been surprised that there hasn't been a few more rumours about that. Because if we can get him on loan again, I think that would be a great bit of business.
I was going to say, the last I heard was that we were trying to get him on loan again. So, I mean, who knows? Apparently, we still hold his registration. He's still a West Ham player, technically, until the end of June. So, who knows? Something could happen there.
Yeah, no, I do like him. Any other rumours of ins? Any other ins that we've heard of? Solomon Rondon's 2-1 to join West Ham.
Rondon, Seri, apparently still in talks with.
Apparently, the Santos deal has gone a bit quiet now. I don't think that will happen now.
Yeah,
Mawson is favourable, apparently.
Yeah, I want Mawson though. I want Alfie Mawson to come. I think that's a real sort of statement of intent. I would say, to go out there and get a good young centre back like that from Premier League.
Yeah, well, we were linked the other day with Mario Götze.
Oh yeah, I bet. He'll go Liverpool, surely. Somewhere like that, surely.
Can you imagine him rocking up at West Ham? Obviously, it's not going to happen, but wow.
Yeah. I just had a look. We've discussed most things that we need to discuss, really.
Here's a question for you both. Do you think West Ham are winning the transfer market at the moment in the Premier League?
I would say so, yeah. Who else has really done anything?
Well, the only one who's really bought anyone is Arsenal.
Yeah.
They got a good keeper, Leno, and they bought the Lichtsteiner. So but so far I think we've pretty much done the best.
Well, it's nice to be getting some of the business done early. Like we've always screamed at that, and a really good question actually was on the X podcast that I remembered, and I wanted to ask you boys. What do the board have to do to be like sort of saying they've had a good summer?
Well, I think they're kind of doing a little bit now. So there's no more stupid tweets.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more comment. The only comment that's come out is David Gold said we're going to spend more than we ever have, and I think that's all right. I think that's an okay thing to say. So I think from that perspective, keeping their mouth shut is good. And
is there a sum of money you would like to see us spend, or is it more about the quality of signing?
I don't put it towards money, because if you look at Fredericks, who you'd probably play 10 million for, young, English, had a good season with Fulham, we got him for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I look more at the quality of player. I saw when we signed, this annoyed me so much, that people were replying to the West Ham sign tweet saying, "Oh, free transfers. What, do you want us to pay 10 million for someone we can get for free?"
Yeah, I agree 100%, Lee. I don't see how people get so hung up. Like you say, he would have been a £10 million player. If we'd have signed him, say we'd spent 20 million on him.
If not more.
Say we spent 20 million on him, does that mean he's better than he is now? Because he's free? Of course not. No, it's ridiculous. Yeah, 100%. It's more about the quality. One thing I will say is, I was going to say, if we do end up signing Anderson, that's £22 million on a centre half, £7 million on a goalkeeper, £30 odd million on a forward. More money than we've ever spent. But then, if that is offset by Arnautovic, if Arnautovic ends up going for like 60 million to Man United, I would then be thinking, yeah, it's good that we spent all that money, but it hasn't really cost them anything, so they could have done more. Do you know what I mean?
It's about keeping that momentum going. So, like you say, mate, if Arnie was to go, that 60 million has got to be reinvested straight away. You know, whether you're buying 2 players out of that or you're buying a really good bloody player with that. And, you know, I'm thinking if Antonio goes, we might get 15 million for him. Snodgrass probably going to go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Might get 8 million for him. Byram, 5 million. Winston Reid, 5 to 8 million. You know, that's another lot of money there. Straight away, I've made up, about 40 million there, maybe 50 million. So, like I said, I don't want it to be, oh, look, we've spent 50 million, but we've sold this. Even without selling Arnie, they can probably raise about 50 million.
Yeah.
One last question on the transfers, if I may. You put yourself in Pellegrini's shoes. Today, 20th of April, May, June. Who's your number one?
I really love Adrian, man.
I don't think
you've got to give Fabianski a go.
Yeah, I don't think Fabianski would have come in to be backup, and I don't think Adrian will stay to be backup. So I think the chances are Adrian will go and will bring in another keeper, probably to be a backup keeper. I'd
like us to sign a good young up, because Fabianski's 33, sign a 3-year contract. That will see him through to pretty much the end of his career, and he'll probably go back to Poland and play a couple of years there. I'd like to sign an 18, 19-year-old, really good, up and coming keeper who can play in the cup games.
Is that not Trotto?
I see. I've said this before on the podcast. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Trott be the backup keeper. Apparently, he's quite highly rated. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him sitting on the bench and maybe playing the early round cup games. But I know that's probably not going to happen. But I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Are you not to get hung up on the keepers, but spending 7 million on Fabianski, or would you prefer us to gone out and spent 30 on Butland, for example?
No.
I do like Butland, but the cat's coming to the show. I do like Butland, but yeah, I think if you a keeper, it's that argument we always have about goalkeepers, isn't it? It's unless you're going for your Neuers, your Buffons, your De Geers, your Courtois, there's really just a level that's exactly the same in terms of their quality, no?
Yeah.
What I think Fabianski's got over Adrian is his distribution is better. And it's a big part of a keeper's game in this day and age.
He's probably a lot less prone to making rash decisions as well, yeah.
Yeah. What about Joe Hart, though, guys? Like, his career's done now, surely. Like, he's done. Yeah. Absolutely done.
It's so weird, the way it just nosedived. Out of nowhere, really.
Yeah. Anything else on West Ham before we move on to the questions?
I haven't asked you your thoughts on the kits.
Oh, I like. We discussed that last show actually, 2 shows ago. I really like them. I quite like the away kit. Obviously, the yellow socks. So everyone's getting on them, aren't they? They're a bit weird, but yeah, I like them. I probably will go and get them.
I can't stand the home kit. For me, it needs to have blue sleeves. I don't like the home kit at all. The away kit, when I first saw it, I quite liked it, but the more I've seen it now, the less I like it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's the less I like it. What I did find interesting, and I posted this to you guys yesterday in case people haven't seen this, is West Ham West Ham are now selling under 18s adult kits, so basically for fat kids, but without the sponsors, but in adult sizes, and I just think they look so much better without the sponsor on.
Lee, what did you like the kits? Obviously, we've not heard your opinion on the show.
Yeah, no, prefer the away. I've got the away one actually. I prefer that a lot more than the home one.
I'm looking forward to seeing the third kit. Apparently, it's grey. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like.
Yeah.
Sorry, the I don't know if you've seen the goalkeeper kits. The goalkeeper kit's black and grey.
Yeah, that's quite nice actually. One question I did have for you guys before we move on to the subscribers' questions. Are we excited? You know, Lee sort of made the point. You know, are West Ham winning the transfer window at the moment? Are you excited? You know, in terms of, I will be when that. Again, we're all hoping Felipe Anderson could come for £38 million and be an absolute flop. But for me, if Felipe Anderson gets done, I'm absolutely buzzing. It's like when Payet signed, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, Lee. Sorry.
No, go on.
I was going to say, for me, it's I'm refusing to allow myself to get excited this window because we've been here too many times before. Like you say, if Anderson signs, then I'll start getting there. But until I see him on the website, don't get me wrong, like the likes of Diop, fantastic signing. That's pretty much a statement signing for West Ham. You know,
I think it's keeping Arnie as well. If they can keep hold of Arnie, fantastic.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing who we line up with.
That upset if he went. Well, that's a question I've not asked you, Lee. If Arnie was to go, 50 million, let's say 50, 55 million, what are you saying to that?
I think it's more than double their money. More than double their money in thanks to half a season. For what it's worth, and this is based on absolutely nothing, but if I was a betting man, I'd say he's going to stay, personally.
See, I thought you would have the opinion of like the Payet sort of thing, what you said, Lee, a couple of years ago, where you said you predicted Payet would flop the second season. I thought you would come out with a comment like that Arnie won't be as good next year.
I think a lot depends on where he plays him, because it's pretty obvious that he can't play as a winger anymore, because he was shocking. The way he doesn't track back.
Striker.
So he's got to play either off Chicharito or as the striker. One of those two things. Talking about being excited, though, the thing that you need to flag is that we could go to Anfield and get spanked 6-0 on the first game of the season.
Fixtures,
easily. Yeah. So it was gutty when the fixtures come out. But
there is some dodgy games. We haven't actually discussed that actually. Yeah, there is some dodgy games in them first 6 games. I think we play City, Arsenal, and Chelsea within the first 6.
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah.
Obviously, Boxing Day away again, which we'll never have a home Boxing Day game, which is a big shame, but it's something we've got to get used to now.
Yeah.
Questions. Okay. Come on, you irons on Twitter. With a bid of 37 million apparently being rejected by Lazio for Felipe Anderson, do you think we should make another bid or drop out of the whole thing and try and sign someone else, as I see a Willie Carvalho / Carlos Bacca in sort of situation going on?
It's interesting. I mean, I agree there does have to be a point where you say the player's not worth that much, but from the sounds of things, this is Pellegrini's main target. He's the man that Pellegrini wants over anybody else. He's his main target, the guy he wants. So I'll say, as long as they've said to Pellegrini, listen, this is how much it's going to cost. Well, the thing is if they've said to him, this is how much he's going to cost, this is going to come out of the budget, do you want him? And he says yes, pay it. Because then it's on the manager, it's the manager's decision. Do you know what I mean? I think it will happen, definitely. I think there's been a lot lost in translation between pounds and euros as well. There's no way we're ever going to pay over £40 million for him. 40 million euros, maybe. We're never going to pay over £40 million for him. So, I don't know. I think it will happen. It sounds like it's going to happen. It sounds like the player wants it. But, I mean, yeah, like I say, I think it should come down to Pellegrini. If he decides that he wants to use that much of his budget on that player, then yeah, let him spend it.
Lee?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know much about him. He's not someone else. He's Brazilian.
He looks a fantastic player.
That's the thing. I'm not saying I personally think he's worth that much. I'm just saying if Pellegrini thinks he is, then we should spend it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think we should listen to the manager or this new director of football guy, whatever he's saying. Because you know what's funny is that the two signings, Diop and Fabianski, Pellegrini hasn't said a word. It's all been the director of football.
I think that's a bit of spin from the club, to be honest with you. I think the club know that there was a lot of controversy about Sullivan being the director of football and then saying, I'm going to take a step back, we're going to bring a director of football in. And then up until Husilos was actually confirmed, there was a lot of people saying it's not going to happen. Then there was loads of stuff, was it in The Sun, that was saying that he's not going to be director of football. Sullivan don't trust him. He's only going to be head coach or whatever. I think the club have seen all that, and I think they're doing that to make a point specifically. Every article now is director of football, Husilos says this, director of football says this. I think it's a bit of club spin. I think they're doing that on purpose to say, look, we did do it. Do you know what I mean?
Richie, do you think we will keep Hugo, another player we forgot about, as we need to meet our quota of homegrown players? If this is the case, I feel sorry for him, as I doubt he'll get any game time under Pellegrini. Weird signing anyway.
It was the most bizarre signing, and one of our most bizarre signings in our history, I think.
I think he was signed. I genuinely think he was signed just in case we got relegated.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's bizarre. I feel sorry for him, I really do, because when he came, the couple of games he come on, he was just running around like he was on a school field day, or you know, it was
maybe
embarrassing.
You know, maybe give him a season out on loan. Listen, I always talk about that elusive next level. Jordan Hugill is not the next level, but you know, give him a year on loan, or give him pre-season. See how he does. Give him some games in pre-season with some real quality around him. You know, Felipe Anderson and people like that are coming in. I reckon I could score, you know, if I was getting supplied by Dimitri Payet and Kevin De Bruyne, people like that, pinging balls at me. So, yeah, see how he gets on like that.
Yeah.
SB, what is your favourite video game? Well, I'll start with Lee, because Paul will probably go on for a few hours. Lee?
Old ones or
yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll do all time and current.
Yeah.
So, all time, when I was a kid, my favourite game was Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, good shout.
Great shout.
That was my favourite game. Actually, the first game I ever finished as well on the Mega Drive. Yeah. Now, I don't really play much other than FIFA, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, favourite game of all time, Final Fantasy 7. And Mass Effect 2. I don't know, they're both very good. Favourite game at the minute, I play FIFA more than anything, but I hate it. Can't stand the game. It's trash. It's a trash game.
I like the game, yeah.
It's crap. I've started playing God of War, the new one, on PS4. Unbelievable game. Amazing game. One of the best I've played. So if you haven't played it, recommend giving it a go. What about you, Luke?
That's quite tough. I love, like, classic Mario Kart and things like that. You know, they're classics. They're
Mario Kart.
Absolute classics, you know, Mario Karts. One of my favourite games of all time is quite a current game, actually. I love the Batman Arkham series. Fantastic games. I love Batman and all that. Current game, like you say, mate, FIFA's probably the main game I play, but I can't say I actually like it. That game makes me want to kill people. I don't know. I'm waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2. There you go. That's what I'm waiting for to come out. I can't wait to play that game. I'm really excited about that when it comes out in the next few weeks. Oh, well, a few months. Smokey Jones. in your opinion, what do you feel West Ham should do with Carroll? So this is my opinion, his opinion. He's played 47%, 90 of 190 matches he's been at the club for. Overpaid, always hurt, scores pointless goals, i.e. hat-tricks, then nothing for 5 matches, but that average 1 goal every 2 matches.
Oi, I was not going to be controversial this week, but pointless goals, I'm trying to think back now, and I would say he scored a few. I don't think he scored many. We don't ever
go against Stoke this year, but was it Stoke?
Yeah,
the one that basically sort of saved us.
Hat-trick against Arsenal in the last season at Upton Park.
Yeah, he scored the bicycle kick, which was the bounce back game after Payet left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't agree with the doesn't score important goals, but we've already covered this already. But for me, he's still keeping for his final year as a plan B.
Yeah,
worth
and
keeping.
Get rid of him.
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
Mm.
Yeah.
We're not going to sell him. Let's put. I mean, no one's going to buy him.
Unless he's only ever going to go to Newcastle. He ain't going to go abroad.
Or America.
Yeah. Sarif, it's sort of a question I've already asked you guys, but we'll answer it again. How excited are you guys about the new season? For me, like I say, Felipe Anderson comes through the door. Very excited. Lee?
Woo! Like that.
That sounded like an episode of Futurama, where Bender becomes a human, and he's like, "Woo!" I've never seen an episode.
That's how excited I am.
Yeah. Like I say, I can't be excited because of history of recent summers. But like you say, if Anderson comes in or someone else of a similar level, then it will start getting me. The closer we get to the start of the season, the more excited I'll get, and the more I'll start thinking, yeah, we're going to win the league this year.
It's a good point to throw this question in again. 20th of June is today. What's a good season as the squad is today?
Top 10.
It's the classic, mate. 10th in a cup run.
Top 10 for
so anything other than 10th in a cup run is a bad season, you think?
You've got to finish in top 10. If you spend that amount of money, you've got to be finishing top 10.
I wouldn't say bad season. I would say a disappointing season. I think
you've got to give. You've got to give Pellegrini time. He's going to build a project there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You've got to give the man time. Sarif again. Why does England consistently get bad calls in football matches during the World Cup? E.g., Harry Kane getting wrestled in the box twice with nothing given.
Because no one likes him.
I don't know, maybe it's a very controversial thing I'm going to say. Maybe Putin's watching from the distance saying, do you know what, don't give that to England.
I have said, Russia, them dodgy Russians are going to win this.
I don't know. All teams get bad calls, don't they?
Yeah. You know, it swings and roundabouts. Sarif, final question. Final question from Sarif. Which type of guy are you? Half full, glass half empty, or glass half full?
I'm a miserable sod.
I'm always the optimist. I always. Luke?
Used to be glass half empty. I'm gradually turning to glass half full sort of guy, I have to say.
That's nice.
I'm trying to take a look at my life, and when I feel I'm being stressed, I think, do you know what? Look at the nice things that are going on in your life. Yeah.
There you go.
You've got a healthy.
That was deeper than I thought it would be.
Yeah. You know, I've started to look at my life a lot differently the last couple of years.
Oh, there you go. That's nice.
Healthy daughter, you know, place to live, food to eat, a job, you know. There's a lot worse that could be happening in my life when I think, oh my God, I've burnt me a shirt on the iron, or I've spilled a cup of tea on the floor, or whatever. When I used to get really stressed about that, I don't anymore. You know, I've chilled myself right out. Tried to. Ken Alfield. Hi guys, is FIFA picking up Lanzini's wages as he is injured on international duty?
No.
Apparently not. Yeah, apparently X said something about they're not actually got to pay any of his wages at all. Apparently.
That's not true, is it?
No, apparently it's hardly anything they've got to pay.
It's again, could be wrong here, but I was under the understanding that it's his basic wage, so it won't be his full wage, but obviously his full wage would be including bonuses, which he won't be getting. But they cover his basic wage up to a certain amount per week, which is more than enough. It's like 5 million or something.
Oh, maybe.
I was under the understanding. I don't know if it was FIFA or if it was the Argentinian FA, but I was under the impression that they would be paying his wages.
Maybe. We'll do some research on it. SB, show regular. What range do you think we will actually spend this window? 75 to 100, 50 to 75, £25.50 or nothing.
If we sell Arnautovic, nothing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looks like we're going to be spending sort of 50, 60, 70 million, which is quite exciting.
Yeah. Lee?
Yeah. Same, yeah. Well, we've already spent 30 odd, haven't we? So.
And if, like I say, Felipe Anderson, we keep mentioning his name, but if it does happen, that straight away goes, you know, how much we've spent.
The spendometer.
I think this is the last question. Yes, yeah. Last question. Some really special name. _ 300 and 997 on Instagram. That is his name or her name. If Sully starts paying his way and we start getting the funds we need for the stadium / fans and the squad, will that be the end of the war between the fans and the owners? Personally, for me, no, because it's their job to do so. And the move wasn't anyone's wish to move. And the fact we are a laughing stock in the league. And I mean, because of the way we went on to become world class, was and still is cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, them putting money into the team and buying players and all the rest of it, that's the basic stuff they should be doing anyway. I don't know if they'll ever get that relationship back with the fans. I will say this window, they're definitely going the right way about starting that progress. Whether they'll ever achieve it, I don't know.
I think, for me, I'll ask Lee in a minute, but for me, I heard on X's podcast, I am going to mention it because I did half agree with it, that, you know, if they spend that money and, you know, give us some good players, listen, you might not ever forgive them, but you've definitely, the hostility has got to dampen. You know, there are certain people that will just do anything to create a negative story about West Ham. Oh, well, we didn't spend 100 million. Oh, well, we didn't spend 200 million. Oh, we didn't get this one. We didn't get that one. You know, keep the heat on them because, yeah, we want them to be doing exactly what they're doing now. But I think the hostility on the games and stuff like that has to die down if they do spend and prove themselves a bit.
Listen, at the end of the day, and I know a lot of West Ham fans will want to say, no, it's not about that. But the cold hard truth is it is. It's about results. If we start next season well and we're winning games, you won't hear a thing. You won't hear a thing.
I've said that all along about the stadium as well. Yes, people still would have kicked up a fuss, but it would have been less so if we would have been successful on the pitch. Yeah. What I will say is the players they're signing and the ages of the players they're signing means that hopefully in future windows we won't have to spend as much because we've got a 21-year-old centre half. We've got Declan Rice at 21.
Mawson, he's 22.
Mawson, 25-year-old right back. That means for the next 5 years potentially we don't have to spend money. We have to replace Zabaleta next year with another cover right back. But do you see the point I'm making? The investment is now, and then people will have to get used to the fact that if we do it now and buy good young players, then you're looking at 1 to 2 marquee signings every year rather than 5 or 6, 7
average signings. If you can see a genuine project materialising, then you know, you can go, okay, listen, you forgive them for what you're doing now. You've done it. You've treated us badly, but you know, time to rebuild the love. You know.
I will say as well. I think I said this last week. I still think this ain't Sullivan's money. I still think this is outside investment. I don't believe that Sullivan's got that much money to spend to be putting these kind of bids in. I still think this is outside influence, probably from Tripsmith. But there you go. I'm sure we'll find out in the not too distant future.
Well, it would have to be in the accounts, wouldn't it? There's no. Surely they wouldn't be stupid enough to.
Yeah, but those those accounts you won't see this year's accounts for another couple of years.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, that's what I think. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so that's about it really. In terms of the current news, one thing I did want to actually mention, just come back in my head there. Amazon, obviously they've won part of a Premier League deal. It's just off the subject off West Ham now. Do you think this could potentially be the start of something that we've predicted before? Within the next sort of 10 years, that clubs start selling season tickets for the rights of their TV to the fans.
I hope so. I don't know if it will happen. I don't
In terms of like a streaming service where you pay for the privilege to stream your team.
It'd be great. I would love it to happen.
Do you know what I think will happen? And BBC are using this technology in this World Cup, and I think it was Everton. They did it with a mascot last year. It's that there's this new technology where it's as if you're in a seat, but you're watching it from home. So you could start selling that. So literally, you'd have one empty seat with the technology on it, and you could sell it 20,000 times over or 30,000 times over.
I'll tell you what.
Attendance would take a dip. Sorry, mate. I'll let you talk in 2 seconds. I think attendance would take a dip. Firstly, but I think attendance would build straight back up anyway. I don't think attendance would take that much of a knock.
No, I think the people that are going are still probably going to go, the majority. But no, I was going to say what Lee was saying there about the technology with the seat. BT do it with the basketball, and it's if you've ever tried one of the virtual reality headsets, you can basically watch an NBA game and you put the virtual reality headset on, and it is that there's 2 positions you can choose from. You can either choose to be sitting in one of the boxes looking down on the court. It is incredible, genuinely. If you've never tried it, if you've got one of them virtual reality headsets, try it, because you're sitting there, you can see the court, but then you look to the side and there's a screen and you can see what's going on, and then the other seat is actually sitting on the bench. So you're literally courtside, and you can look left, and there's the manager or the coach shouting, and you look right, and there's the other players on the bench, and the game's right there, and it's all interactive as well. So you can just look up at the scoreboard, or you can look down, and there's like a digital thing. Incredible. Cool. That's the future. I'm telling you, that's the future. See when the technology gets more widespread, and that's if you've never tried it, go out and try it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Thanks. Anything else, Lee, from you? As you rarely do join us, is there anything else?
I'm just thinking how much I would love us to have David Silva watching the Spain game, but no,
just
so would every other club in the world, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful player. Him and Iniesta together, unbelievable. That is it. Thank you, guys. If you've not noticed, we did it 2,400. I think we only need 95 to hit that new milestone of 2,500, which would be fantastic. If we can hit that, we're still going. We don't make as much content as we used to, but we always bring this show out. We love making this show, and we know you guys love it as well. Yeah, until then, guys, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.